Ryan Bretton's tracking our forecast. Seems like we have a mix of high impact, bad timing, high impact. It depends on where you're looking.
Yeah, and I'd say tomorrow's system has slowed down by maybe about 2 hours. Okay. So that means in parts of eastern Maine, it may actually not snow until about daybreak tomorrow.
So I'll be surprised.
Yes, it's a little complicated coming up here. We have a winter storm warning up over northern Maine, and this is where it will be all snow. And there may be some places in the county that get up to a foot of snow, but that will not be the case farther south, as we'll have warmer air moving in aloft, which means a change over to some sleet, freezing rain, and maybe a little plain rain at the coastline. Single digits up north, 17 in Bangor. We're in the low to mid 20s farther south right now. There is some snow approaching, showing up on radar around Connecticut and certainly back into upstate New York, but it will be slow to move in tonight. It's a pretty healthy system moving in. There's actually some severe weather with a threat of tornadoes in the deep south tonight. So we'll bring it to midnight tonight. This is the hour-by-hour forecast at that point. We are dry in most of the state. There could be a few flurries near the coastline and some light snow developing over in New Hampshire. That slowly moves in tonight. So by 3 in the morning, it should be snowing in much of western Maine, but still dry and cold in eastern Maine. And as this snow moves in, it is worth noting the ground will be cold, so it will accumulate right away. This is 6 o'clock in the morning, and for those of you down east, you may still be waiting on the snow at that point, while in central, southern, western Maine over into New Hampshire, it is snowy for the entire morning commute tomorrow. 9 o'clock in the morning, snowing about just all of the state, but you can see that mix line getting into the seacoast of New Hampshire, and I think during tomorrow morning, we will see a change over to some sleet and perhaps a little bit of freezing rain, and maybe some plain rain on the islands and peninsulas, but usually in these circumstances, it's really tough to warm up the ground. So I think inland tomorrow, we're probably staying below freezing all day long. During the afternoon, this will begin to taper. By 2 or 3 o'clock, it's done in southern Maine. Still snowing, though, especially Waterville, Bangor north at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, while we get that icy mix down east. And by tomorrow evening, it's done with the exception of up north, and that's why we're going to get the most snow there, 6 to 12 inches of snow. The rest of us looking at 3 to 6. If the sleet comes in sooner, it would be closer to the 3. And we do think that sleet will cut down the totals in southern York County, only an inch or 2 expected there. After this goes by, Friday is going to be sunny, but it is going to be windy and chilly. Highs will be in the 20s for most of us on Friday. The next system comes in over the weekend. Saturday during the daytime should be dry, but snow moves in Saturday night. And again, it's not a clean snow setup. We're looking at 2 areas of low pressure here, and that will again bring in some warming aloft. So we'll start as snow and then likely see a transition to sleet, freezing rain, and perhaps a little bit of plain rain. And this is also a longer duration storm. So while it begins late Saturday night, it probably doesn't wrap up until Sunday night. So Sunday is looking like a mess at this point. Seas 6 to 9 feet tomorrow with a southeast wind that'll be gusty on the water. So tomorrow it's a snowy morning commute. Then we see a change over to a little bit of light sleet and light freezing rain. It ends during the afternoon. Breezy, chilly on Friday, Saturday night into Sunday. It's a bigger storm that comes through, and the question at this point is, are we going to see more sleet or more freezing rain? Sleet's harder to shovel. Freezing rain is what clings to trees and power lines. So if we get sleet, we avoid power outages, but it's a messy cleanup. And I think in general, no one wants freezing rain. So not a great trade-off either way.
When that comes through.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Ryan.
You're welcome.